Free agency grades through the first 3 days by CBS Sports. I would start off by saying my grade for the Bengals right now would be a C-. They still have not signed the big three. That's the biggest thing possible, is getting those three guys under contract and figuring that out. They still have not signed offensive guards. These are very important positions we need to work on. They have still not signed an edge rusher or some type of defensive lineman to help us out. They still have not signed any linebacker depth. They still have not signed a safety or corner veteran-wise to help us out in that category. Now, what I do give them C- is we did bring back the same team we had last year, but really, honestly, for more expensive price tag. I like having Samaje Perine back. I think that's a great addition back on the squad. And also, of course, bring back Cam Sample, Joseph Asai, BJ Hill, etc., etc., etc. Also a very big, good W signing. We also, of course, did go ahead and get TJ Slayton, which is another really awesome player as well, and Burks at the middle linebacker position. But I feel like we didn't really do that much. We didn't do enough, and not enough that we can say we feel confident in this free agency has done a really good job for us. We still need to sign guards. I would say before the draft, 2 guards, sign them. Everything else, if you want to use the rest of your draft picks, 6 draft picks on defense, I'm okay with that. I would also be okay personally, because this upcoming draft, by the way, is really, really good at defensive line, edge rushers. It's a really deep class for defense. If you want to trade back that 17th pick and trade back, let's say, the 25th or 26th pick and get an extra second or third round pick in there, we only have 6 picks. So that might not be a bad idea to trade back in this upcoming draft and really work around that mentality, because we want to, right now, our best friend could be just stockpiling draft picks and, actually working on a defense in this upcoming draft. So here's what CBS Sports says. Washington got an A+. Bears got an A. Vikings got an A-. Patriots got an A- as well. Keep in mind, the Bears are a good example, though, of why the offseason doesn't matter as much as people make it out to be, because they win the offseason every year, but not the season. B's all the way around. I already know we're going to be on the last page because, let's be honest, there's 0 chance we're not. Here's what I'll say, though. How did the Brownies get a better grade than us? They traded for Kenny Pickett, re-signed Devin Bush, gave an arm, a leg, and your firstborn child to Myles Garrett. Like, how did they did not do better than us? That's why I've said in my video before, when ESPN said we were the biggest losers in free agency. I don't agree with that, because the Browns are still a thing. I know we like to say we want them disbanded. Majority, I say that. But at the same time, you got to keep in mind, the Browns are a team, and they did worse than us. We might have did bad. Really, really bad. But the Browns did worse. They overpaid Myles Garrett, got Devin Bush, traded for Kenny Pickett, which I still don't understand. They didn't do anything good so far. Like, at all. We did better. And that's saying a lot. But obviously, we don't get the love and affection of the media to say first off, at least they said we did better than the 49ers, because the 49ers literally just lost. The 49ers just got beat 74 different times in these first 3 days of free agency. Like, there's nothing positive. They just lost everyone. But then they also did just sign Mac Jones. So I guess technically they lost even more. Like, the 49ers are the first team to sign a quarterback in free agency And I think that would actually lower the grade they should get for their free agency grade for the first 3 days. Like, signing him is actually a loss. But they gave us a C-. And I love how this is a great... Okay, well, first off, the Cowboys are going all in, so I don't know why they got a C-. They went all in 2 years in a row now. D+ for the Texans. I actually like the Texans offseason so far. So I don't know if I agree with this. Stephon Diggs, losing Stephon Diggs, if anything, should make them an A+. Stephon Diggs is a freaking... He's like DK Metcalf. He's like... what's his name? DK Metcalf and George Pickens. He's a mental head case. At the end of the day, great players, right? Great receivers, amazing receivers. But do you want that type of mental head case on your team? I don't like to call players like that... I don't even like to say it out loud, but I'll say it out loud. Cancer. Some people are like, oh, that's a locker room cancer, whatever. I don't like to do that because people, obviously pass away from cancer. So I don't like to call them that, but I'm going to call them like locker room head cases or mental head cases. I feel like that's a better term. I know a lot of people in the football world would just say like locker room cancer. I don't like to do that because, again, it's a touchy subject with that. That's a very, it's a really scary disease. But anyway, point is, locker room head cases is what those 3 receivers are. And they might be great. You might be like, oh, these are the best receivers in the league. They're not. But you might say like they're top 15, right? But is it really worth it to deal with people like that, to deal with players like that? Not really. So if anything, I think the Texans got better because they got rid of Stephon Diggs. They got rid of that mental head case. And instead, they got 2 other receivers as well. So their biggest issue was they traded away Laramie Tunsil, left tackle, got rid of the left guard, Shaq Mason, and their line already sucked. So... their line just got worse. That's really all they did. They just went downhill. They didn't go uphill. So, interesting. Eagles, they lost Josh Sweat. But this is what they always do. The Eagles have 20 picks in the next 2 years. 20. Just a little key tip here, guys. We have 12 in the next 2 years. Actually, 13, sorry. 13 in the next 2 years. Eagles have 20. And they're going to get more because they're going to get more compensatory picks next year. So they'll probably have up to 25. This is what the Eagles do. Sign players, lose them in free agency. Get compensatory picks from it. Rinse, cycle, repeat. Draft young guys. Get good talent on the roster. And bam. So what the Eagles do. This is how they're successful. And we all just live in their world. Peace out.